Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me. This is Sugalicious of Sugalicious Nightly. Although the Dope Awards were several weeks ago, we're still hearing about it on the grid. And if you're not hearing about it, you either haven't logged in or under a rock. So on my show today is MzLady T, the owner of Dope Awards and also the founder of SGS. MzLady T, how are you today?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so humbled to be here on this stage with you, Sugar. Thank you.
No, thank you for being here with us. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions. First, I guess I want to ask you about SGS, which has been along the grid a long time, starting off at Divas. What made you start Divas and then go to SGS?
Well, the way that DUSE came into creation was, at that time, I was in part of a sorority. And it just wasn't fitted for me. And I decided, along with my friend at the time, named is Trish Joyce, decided to make a sisterhood. But we did not want to become Greek at that moment. We just wanted to be a regular foundation. So we went ahead and tried to think of a name, a catchy name, that talks about a strong female. So Beyonce's song was actually hot at that time. And I was just loving it. It was one of my themes at that time. So being a diva is what I always consider myself. So Divas Inc. just fit right into that, So after that, after we did Divas Inc., Divas Inc. had a lot of issues. We had beef. We had lots of drama, that comes with the territory when you have a sisterhood. But I really enjoyed it. I learned a lot about myself, and I learned a lot about my character and me being a sister. And it made me a strong founder. How we came into transition into Greek, ex-Greek frat brother of ours from Theta Gamma Theta felt that we should, be side and side with them, equal and equal, so we wouldn't be left out at a lot of events. So after much talk and deliberation with the Diva sisters, we decided, we took a poll. Some felt like, oh, we don't need to be like everybody else. Let's stay Greek. But I see we can still be original and Greek at the same time. So after much talk, deliberation, meetings, and voting, we came up with Sigma Gamma Sigma. And that was actually a year ago, August 4, 2012.
So you've been Sigma Gamma Sigma for 1 year, which is excellent. How do you balance that though? Because I know that you have a lot going on with the Dope magazines, and then I saw also you have the Models Are Us, and then Sigma Gamma Sigma. Me being somebody who has juggle a lot too, also having the SGS and having the Dope magazines and everything. How do you balance all that?
Well, it takes a lot of patience. You have to have patience when you're a businesswoman. You can't just jump into something if you don't have patience. I've been on this grid for over 5 years now. So, I've always been a go-getter, a trendsetter, and a hard worker. So, having all of these businesses are nothing new to me. I always wanted to be an entrepreneur. I always wanted to go into work for myself. So when it came to me going back into modeling and relaunching Zoe back up after our hiatus, it just felt right. I know how to do it. I can't say that for someone to have multiple businesses such as myself. But I know that I can handle it because I know which route to take. I have a staff. I like to give a shout out, to Miss Cinnamon Delight, Miss Fiasca, A Cat for Life, Miss MzLady, Miss Nevaeh Faye. All of them are on my team with Sigmas and Dope magazine, that help me. All my photographers, Azaria, Miss Jennifer Baby, Miss China Doll, all of them, they create a strong team and keep us grounded to have a successful magazine, to have a successful sorority. And my modeling days I'm getting back into. So you got to have a strong team. You got to have a strong family, because a team is a family. If you don't have that, then there's nothing successful that can come out of that. So, I've been to the point where I didn't have a strong team. But I'm very happy now. I have people that help me. They got people who want to come and join my team. And I'm more than merrier is always open for help. So that's exactly how I stay stress free, how I stay humble, and how everything stay intact because of the strong team and strong support that I have from my fellow family and friends.
I can totally understand and relate to that, because if you don't have a strong team, things can get all array. Now, this is going to be a difficult question, but I'm going to ask it. The Dope Magazine award show that had a lot of criticism behind it, and a lot of criticism that I basically was listening to and heard from others. One big question I would like to ask you is that what would you do differently next year, because I know there's going to be a next year for the award show. One thing that I wanted to ask you about before we ask what you would do different, what made you vent on stage when you did? Because I know you were frustrated, but what made you vent on stage instead of maybe keeping that bottled up until after the performances or after the show?
Well, I heard a lot of criticism about me venting, and I just want to clear a lot of things up. I really don't like the way that people criticize me by calling me country, saying I have a lisp. I mean, I'm from New Orleans. We pronounce ours differently than other people from different regions. If you're from where I'm from, you can really get my drift. You can understand exactly, oh, that's the way they say they words. That's their own slang, their own language. I'm sure a lot of people have seen that World Star Hip Hop video, New Orleans girls, the things that they say. We say things differently than anybody from country. So I just wanted to clear that up and address that to a lot of people who felt I was being unprofessional in country. You have to put yourself in my position, what position I was in. I put a lot of hard time and work and dedication into the Dope Awards. I've been gone a year due to my pregnancy and due to my mom being sick. So for people to sit there and criticize the awards, they didn't put no money, they didn't put no effort, they didn't put no time, they didn't put no dedication or commitment into this. There are people who put commitment and time and dedication into it. So they understood what ground I was coming from. A lot of people felt like they could not bend me. They said they would have shut the awards down and stay go home. I refund some people money back, and I also offer a lot of free and promotion to people in my magazine as well as on my blog, because I was very upset because I was unable to promote the sponsors the way I can because of drama and ignorance coming from the urban community. I really felt like I just felt like I needed to vent, because it was taking a toll of me. I was really upset of the outcome of how these people were acting. People making assumptions that were not true. People saying that the votes were rigged when that's a lie, when I had a committee of people that's their friends. So if anything, if you're mad at an award that you did not receive, you need to blame your friend. I didn't pick a person who's head of something. I picked everyday people who are around the urban community that sees these things, that go to parties and listen. It's a people's choice, not a person who's a part of a committee who is ahead of something that's cool with somebody who's part of the nominee list. All of the committee were not nominees, and they all were from different sections of urban community. So it wasn't like they pick a favorite, because at the end of the day, it's only one winner. So I felt, the need to vent. The reason why I felt the need to vent, because I was going to either scream or curse someone out. So instead of me taking my anger and frustrations out on someone who had absolutely nothing to do with the situation, I just vented to my crew. I vented to whoever listened. And I may have got a criticism about it, but at the same time, I got more support than hate. That's what a lot of people don't know. There's a lot of people who still wanted to come to the awards and still supporting me now. So if anybody want to say anything about, oh, they're ratchet, they're worse than the BET Awards, You're entitled to your own opinion, but at the same time, I'm not going to stop doing what I do. I'm not going to stop giving the community what they need. Because without having a Dope Award or the Greek Awards or whoever comes up with a ceremony, we do not have our own platform to showcase our talents and get rewarded for it. We don't. SL do not acknowledge urban. Some people may not want to be urban, but urban people come to your store, so you cannot just give urban the back door and be like, oh, they're not quality. You cannot be like that. Because at the same time, those people who you criticize and all of that is where you started at. Before there was an Avenue or a Best of SL, before you can get a chance to be in that magazine, you was in Dope magazine that gave you a little business. So you can't just, forget where you come from.
What would you do differently next year? Because I think a lot of the criticism came is because they felt like a lot of the tickets were oversold and that there wasn't any, platform was only 100 people. I think it was over 150 tickets that were sold. Next time would you maybe, cut it up in maybe 2 parts, and then that way you have, those who win some awards earlier and then those who win the other awards later? Would that be something that you would do? Sometimes you get so caught in the moment, as you say, you hadn't been in SL for over a year, so, I'm sure you wanted to come out with a bang, because I would, What would you do differently next year as to the awards?
Well, to clear you up, 100, like I told this female on her status last week, there 150 tickets were not sold. Let's get that clear. It probably was about 50 tickets were sold, and those people were there. The people who weren't there, and a couple of nominees who should have been there. There were a few people who weren't there who asking for their money back, and I paid them back. Some of the sponsors weren't there, and a lot of nominees were not there. Let's get that clear. About the tickets and 150 people, like I said, it was more nominees and their guests, and people buying tickets for that. So it wasn't 150 tickets sold, trust me. Now, a lot of people have suggested, next year you need to do 2 nights or break it up into parts. Yeah, I do. I wasn't, when you do something, you are not mindful of that. You're thinking, right, oh, not that many people will come, and, a sim could fit 100 people because it was a full sim. And the extra had 113 people, so, and it was no lag, so people who crashed are people who had low graphic cards, so I didn't crash. I stayed online for 4 hours and I relogged. So to have 102 people on a sim with thousands of scripts on, because there was no limit, and it didn't lag with a premium building, I think that I should deserve a pat on the back. But if I have done it better, as had everyone came, then I guess a lot of people wouldn't have really said anything. They still would have had a criticism about who won. True. But true, they still would have been like, well, at least I win. I was on the red carpet, I got my picture, I sat at my table, I saw the 2 performances, I saw the awards given out, and I'm good. Even though I ain't like who win, I still went, I paid my ticket. So I do want to apologize, like I said on my blog last week, to anybody who could not come. Whoever hit me up, they got their refund, who probably, some of them didn't care. It is what it is. I do apologize. Some may not, think that I'm really coming from the heart with it, but I am, But that's what I would do differently. I already started planning it out with a lot of people. I have a team. We have a lot of events coming up for Dope. But, next year is going to be really different. And tickets going to be limited, and it's actually going to be per night. So, yeah.
I got to walk on the red carpet, so... So, and I was nominated. I didn't win, but I didn't have any ill manner who won, because I'm not really, very well known, me and my husband. So those who didn't win, there's always next year. That's how I look at it. If there's someone that you think that could win, again, there's always next year. And speaking of that, where do you see yourself as far as with Sigma Gamma Sigma and with the Dope magazine and with your modeling or us that you're bringing back? Where do you see yourself in a year? Where would you like to see yourself?
I would like to see myself crossing over with my model agency and with Dope. I like to see myself with better company. I like to see myself with a successful another magazine, a fashion magazine, all fashion. And I like to see myself, having, a staff of wonderful models. Because I have actually taught a lot of models who are employed right now with Divas Inc. model agency before I became Models R Us. I like to see myself still blogging, still the same humble person, still Sigma Gamma Sigma, still loyal, still close knit as we are, and basically just doing what I do, and that's giving the urban community what they need. That's what I'm here for.
Would you like to see not just yourself, but more, award shows for the urban community, or if someone like came to you with a different magazine or a different award show that would want to, maybe do something with you? Would you be up for that, knowing now that you've basically been there, done that, and could basically be the step for someone else to, bring that about in the urban community?
Yeah, people have hit me up countless times, and I really don't have the time at the time to really acknowledge that. But now I'm ready. I have my second annual Dope Honors coming to everyone in December, so I would love to have a fashion awards. I think that would be hot. Like BET got the Hip Hop Awards, and how VH1 got the Do Right Awards. I would love to have a fashion awards for different kind of fashion and
that would be nice.
I like to have that. And also, Dope have a lot of interesting things. We got the Urban Fashion Week, which I think is the first. We have the Summer Festival coming through, and we also have the Yo Mama Talk Trash Talking Bash. I like bringing franchises back, from real life into SL. So that's one of the things that I always do, and one of the things that I love. And I think a lot of people have fun with that, because no one else really has the guts to do it because they don't feel it'll be a success. But I always be like, I'ma just do it and run with it and see whatever it takes, whatever it goes. God bless it, Who knows? Maybe I get some shine on it. Maybe some people would like it. Right. Nothing's gonna stop me.
Now, for those guys out there, is Ms. T or is it Mrs. T?
It's Miss. Right now, I am married to my business and my money. I'm not really looking for nothing, but I do accept friends. I've dealt with relationships too many times on this game, and I'm not really looking for anything. I mean, I'm married in real life. For some people who don't know, I have gotten married in April, and I really don't have time for a relationship. I do have friends. I do have friends I chill with, but that's as far as it would get. I don't have time for all of that. That really, I don't got time for all of the drama. I'm here to make my name known. I'm here to give the urban community what they need, and I'm here to have fun. I'm not here for drama. I'm not here for, he's cheating on me. Do what you want. It's a computer game. I don't got time for all of that. I've been there, done that. I've been on the grid. It'll be 6 years and I'm sober. I don't got time for this. I don't. I got bigger and better things that I'm trying to do for people who need to be done for,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. If I wasn't married to my husband and he wasn't involved in the business, because that's me too right now. I'm in love with my, don't kill me, honey, but I'm in love with my business, my work. I'm trying to get, my name established out there. So definitely understand that. Is there anything you would like to tell up and coming people who are starting their business, or those who are trying to maybe get into a sorority or trying to make their own sorority? Any advice that you have for the audience?
Well, for the sorority, I have a lot to say about that. There are a lot of people who start their own sorority, and I think I posted about this. I commend anyone who's out there, starting their own sorority from scratch. It's a very hard thing to do. I commend you. I give you the strength to deal with it. It's not an easy task. Now, for people who are out there jumping from sorority to sorority, I don't think that's a good look. I see it as disloyalty. How can you consider having a sorority based on those morals when you're not upholding them? You know, I feel like you should not leave something for little things or big things. You work through it. That's what a family and a sorority is based on. You know, but my advice is to be loyal, work through your problems, keep it in the sorority. Don't take it to nowhere. It's gonna be bad days, but don't let that discourage you. You know, keep it calm. Keep it calm, and try to work it through because you're a family. Now, on a business tip, my advice is if you're not a go-getter and if you're not a strong worker and you're lazy, then you're not gonna be successful. Money is not gonna be coming to you if you're trying to start a business, any kind of business. You gotta push your money out to get money. You know, you gotta promote yourself to get promotion back to you.
That's true.
So you thinking you're gonna make thousands of dollars being a DJ or being a fashion designer, it's not gonna be. You gotta put that money out there to get ads done, to get mesh, to get everything, to get out there. You gotta join advertisers, join these shopping events out there to get out there. You know, and it's gonna be money. So don't think that you're not gonna pay money to get money. You know, so that's my first, advice for people. And also surround yourself around people who is about their money. If they're not about their money, then you don't need that. Don't surround yourself around people who are not serious or who don't have a business mind, because you don't need someone putting you down and that's messing with your money. You know, so surround yourself with strong people. And also never surround yourself with drama. Drama going to follow you, but learn how to not engage in it. I'm not saying I'm perfect. It's been times when I invented on Facebook about a situation, but at the same time I still be about my business. I post something right after that. We can use Facebook as a vent tool. Yeah, you don't know, it can be real life versus SL, but at the same time, don't vent every single day, every hour, on the minute. Right. You know, unless you have two profiles. You got a personal and a business. You know, that's my advice. You know.
Well, MzLady T, thank you so much for being on the show. And I know it had to be hard to, to discuss some of the things, and I appreciate you, being honest with my audience and with myself in regards to the different things.
To a few people?
Yeah, you sure can. Go right ahead.
First, I want to give a huge shout out to the Sigma Gamma Sigma founders and head sisters, Cinema Delight, It Cafe Life Moonshadow, MzLady, Cotton Hits, Miss Fierce, Blessing Mood Swing, all of you guys, love you guys. I want to give a shout out to Dope CEO, Celebrity Freeman, and Fiasca. I also want to give a huge shout out to Dope Photographers, China Doll 20, Miss Azor, also known as Naomi, Emmy, who's also my blogger photographer. Thank you so much. A huge shout out to all of the sponsors for Dope Magazine and the awards and the sponsors for my blog. Thank you guys, and all my supporters and everyone who support Dope, my blog, my sorority, and me. Thank you. And thank you, Suga.
Oh, you're more than welcome. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Until next time, Suga Kisses. Mwah.